Most people have affairs because they forget the 80-20 principle. You're gonna marry someone that has 80% of everything that you love. That 80% when love is high feels like 100%. Like it does. What is it? The Bible tells us love covers a multitude of sins. You don't care about the socks on the floor when love is high. Like you don't care about the bad breath when love is high. You don't care that he goes and plays golf. Who cares? You're like, love is high. But when there's a struggle, when there's a rift, when there's not that intimacy there, what happens is that 80% is overlooked and all you're looking at now is the 20% that they don't have. And then some guy or some girl comes along and guess what? They have none of the 80%, but they've got that 20%. Maybe they've got that body, or they've got that affirmation you need, or they laugh at your jokes. She doesn't laugh at your jokes, but he laughs at your jokes. And you got to think about, like, this is a whole thing where you're going, oh man, this person finally gives me what I want, what I need. And what you do is, and this is the lie of the enemy. The lie of the enemy is he gets you to give up the 80% for the 20% that person can offer. And I've seen it. I've seen it time and time and time again. And what ends up happening is you end up wrecking your life. And that 80% that God has given you, and the kids that God's given you, and the integrity and the blessings and the joy that God's given you in that 80% for that 20%. And then you go and because you wrecked all of this, you go and lean into that 20% and you realize that 20% is about all that she or he has to offer. And that relationship never works out. You know why? Because they were a bait, they were a tactic of the enemy to get you to give up what God had in your life. Never forget the 80-20 rule. Here's how I say it. Ready? Don't trade what you want most for what you crave now.
The wildest ironies is that Cat Williams used that same type of analogy a long time ago. How like a woman will dump or at least reject a man who only brings about only 80%, and because he doesn't bring the other 20%. So a man's going to be dumped because he don't have 8% and what a perfect man is. While meanwhile, the woman is nowhere near perfect. If you don't mind, I'm going to use another analogy. Like say in the beginning, marriage between you and your spouse is like a brand new shiny quarter. Nice and shiny, brand new shiny look. It's all great. Over time, have some hard times, some difficulties and all that, financial what having up, that shiny penny turns to something like this. Yes. Still has value, just not as shiny as before. But unfortunately, this is where when this gentleman talk about how the enemy, the devil or Satan, the devil uses like traps. Like someone new comes and maybe a woman, a man, who's equivalent to a penny, shiny, new. The person that looks good, moves good, talks good, and all that stuff, it's like a brand new Lord. This is shinier than this. Here's the problem though. Though this is shiny and new, like wow, looks pretty, this holds way more value. In the process, you would trade in this for this. That's way less value. The idea how strong the marriage is, like how you should be able to survive during difficult times. And when difficult times come, this would tell you either A, the marriage is going to last, or the marriage is going to fold. Unfortunately, marriage fold because people think like it's going to be like the typical fairy tale wedding. It'd be sunshine, unicorns and rainbows 24/7. Not always. Saying goes, it always rains somewhere sometimes. But that rain don't last forever. Because over time, even though things might look like this, in the end, if you love each other, care about each other, it will always, always be like this. So don't fall for this. And when you think about this man saying this sermon, which I think is awesome, when you think about what Cat Williams said about the 80-20, and do you know anybody who's been for that situation? Please let me know in the comments down below. Peace and God bless.